I get this question multiple times a week. What test strips or test kit should I use? Well, it depends on whether your pool's got water issues and if you have problems deciphering colors. I'm Matt from Swim University, and today I'm breaking down all 3 types of pool water test, what they measure, how accurate they are, how to use them, and which brands to buy. Look, I've been helping people with their pools for over 30 years, and there are just some brands that I use consistently that are my favorites. But first, let's talk about which type of water test you should use. Now, there are 3 types of pool water tests. You have test strips, you have liquid test kits, and you have digital readers. They're not all created equal, and the right one depends on what you're trying to do. We have test strips. Test strips are the fastest and cheapest option. You dip them in, you wait 15 seconds, and you match the colors. They're great for weekly maintenance checks, but the color matching can be tricky, and they can get contaminated if you don't seal the container tightly. Liquid test kits are more accurate. You add drops of testing solution to a water sample and compare the color change. Now, it takes more time and precision, but when you're troubleshooting a water problem, a liquid test kit is absolutely the better tool. I like to use test strips for weekly high-level checks, and then I like a test kit on hand when I need more precise measurements. Digital readers give you a hard number with no color interpretation at all. So if you're colorblind, a digital reader is probably worth it. They're easy to read, but they cost significantly more, and the readings can be off if the reader needs calibrating. So no matter which option you use, you need a good water sample. So you always want to collect a water sample away from your skimmer, your return jets, and you want to be elbow deep in the pool. And that's where you're going to get the most accurate reading. By the way, all of this is covered in the Pool Care Handbook. It covers water chemistry from top to bottom, how to collect the sample, which chemicals you should have on hand, and what to do if you're having chronic water problems. So you can grab your copy at swimu.com/book. Okay, let's start with my favorite, test strips. So when you're buying test strips, I would recommend going with a well-known brand. I would avoid knockoff brands on Amazon. They're just not reliable. And honestly, the minuscule savings are just not worth it. Now, my 2 favorite brands that I've used consistently over the last 30 years doing this are AquaCheck and Lamott, which are marketed as InstaTest. Now, the AquaCheck 7-way test strips measure everything you need. That's total hardness, which helps you measure calcium hardness, total chlorine, total bromine, free chlorine, pH, total alkalinity, and cyanuric acid. These are pretty easy to find in stores and online. Now, the Lamott Insta test strips are great too. You want to look for the 6-way or the 7-way options. Test strips typically last about 1 year after opening the packaging and 2 years if it's unopened. So I would refresh your supply every pool season. Here's how to use test strips. Dip the strip into a water sample, collect it from the middle of your pool, elbow deep. Remove it quickly, hold it still for about 15 seconds, and then compare the colors to the chart on the bottle. Don't shake the strip, don't touch the pads with your fingers, and do this in natural daylight for the clearest read. Next up, my favorite test kits. Now, the best test kit brand, hands down, is Taylor. They're reliable, they're accurate, and they've been around forever. And that's why all of the pool professionals use it. Now, they have a few different types. You want to skip OTO kits because they only test for total chlorine and pH, and they can't separate free chlorine and combined chlorine. What you want is either a DPD or an FAS DPD kit. Now, Taylor makes the best of both of these. You want to look for a Taylor K2005 or a K2006. Both test for free and total chlorine, pH, total alkalinity, calcium hardness, and cyanuric acid. For most pool owners, the K2005 is fine. It's accurate, it's reliable, and it's straightforward. But if your chlorine is above 10 parts per million, like right after you shock the pool, the sample can bleach out and give you a false clear reading. It also requires some color matching, which can be hard for people, especially for colorblind. For about $20 to $30 more, you can upgrade to the Taylor K2006. It's more accurate and eliminates the nuances of color matching. Just count the drops you're adding into the water sample until it turns from pink to clear. It also lets you measure chlorine up to 50 parts per million, and that's what most professionals use. Now, if you have a saltwater pool, you can get the Taylor K2006 Salt Test Kit. So here's how you're gonna use a liquid test kit. You collect your sample from the deep end, elbow deep, after your pump's been running for about an hour. And then you can add your kit's reagents to the water sample. Now for the K2005 kit, you wanna compare the color change to the chart. For the K2006's chlorine test, count the drops until the color disappears. You can replace the reagents at the start of every season because they do have a 1-year shelf life. Finally, let's talk about digital readers. Now for most pool owners, a mid-range reader is plenty. But a mid-range, I'm talking like $200 to $300. So digital readers aren't cheap. And I think the Lamont Color Q digital photometer is great. It totally eliminates the guesswork around color matching, and it tests for free chlorine, total chlorine, bromine, pH, alkalinity, calcium hardness, and cyanuric acid. And it works just like a test kit. You collect a water sample in the test tube, you add the reagents or the tablets for each test, you mix it, and you press a button to get a digital reading. Just keep the vials clean and fill them to the exact line every single time. You'll also need to reset the meter each time before you add the reagents. Now, the gold standard digital reader is the Lamont WaterLink Spin Touch. It's a professional grade option that's over $1,000. And honestly, I think it's totally overkill for most pool owners. But hey, if you want to get it, it's going to be the most accurate, and you don't have to worry about color matching. Okay, so once you have your test results, what do you do? Well, the next step is to figure out exactly which chemicals you need to add and how much of each you need to add to your pool and when you need to add them. And you can check out all of our other videos on adding chemicals. Or if you want to be told exactly what to add and when, you can check out the Pool Care app. You enter your test results from your test kits, from test strips, your test kit, your digital reader, whichever you have, and it gives you a custom treatment plan in less than 60 seconds. Now, there's a 7-day free trial, and you can find it in the App Store by just searching Pool Care or Pool Care by Swim University. And if you have any question about which testing method is right for your pool, just drop a comment below. That's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy swimming.